So you're an introvert that wants to smell amazing, but you don't want the loud, sweet, sexy fragrances or the bouquet of roses type of florals or even those blue fragrances like Sauvage and Bleu de Chanel. Instead, you want something that's soft and clean, and these are perfect. And we're gonna start with the fragrance that I don't currently have in my collection. It's called L'Homme by YSL. Now that is a very unisex fragrance that smells like ginger. It's just very clean, and it's something that everybody loves. I have not met a person that hates that fragrance. It's almost a crime to hate something that smells clean. If it smells like cleanliness and people are hating on it, that is a red flag, okay? But all jokes aside, I know that fragrances are subjective, but L'Homme is just a beautiful scent. It's classy, it's seductive, it's something that is very soft. I do find it to be like an introverted type of fragrance because it's not loud, but at the same time, it is something that is so irresistible when you get your nose on it. Now, it is marketed as a masculine fragrance, but I do truly believe that it's so unisex. I myself have worn it as a woman, and I remember when I had my mom smell it, she thought it smelled like an Estee Lauder's perfume. So it can easily be worn by anyone. Now, the downside for L'Homme is the fact that performance sucks, okay? It's something that you definitely have to overspray if you want longevity, or you can combine it with ISO E Super and make that thing last longer. But all in all, it is something if you're somebody that values intimacy, and let's say you have a date or your partner's coming over and you just want to smell nice and clean, it's just a great fragrance that brings smiles to people's faces, okay? And as always, I'll put the discount link for all these fragrances in the description box below. And just complete disclosure here, it is an affiliate link if you do want to support the channel, but of course, you don't have to. Please buy where you're comfortable. And we're going to move on to the next fragrance, which is Mandarin by Precious Liquid. And this smells like mandarin. Again, another completely unisex fragrance. This is actually something that my girlfriend wears a lot. It's her go-to fresh out of the shower fragrance, and she always smells amazing with this. Now, to her, it smells like, you know, the doctor soap, the pink doctor soap in doctor's offices before you're about to get a checkup, you know what I'm saying? And they're about to shove that stick in your mouth and they use that pink soap. That is what she thinks this smells like. To me, it's like a mandarin scent, but it's not overly citrusy. It's almost kind of like the rind of when you're peeling, you know, the orange peel. That sort of scent. Oh man, I really, really do love this. Such an easy wear. And I truly believe that all the fragrances that I'm going to show you are very wearable anytime, any place, any day. They make fantastic signature scents. Just something that you can wear all the time, basically. So if you're someone that doesn't have any fragrances in your collection and you're looking on where to start, these are seriously perfect. You can wear them anytime. All right. Next is Molecula 1 by Eccentric Molecules. And just something that I will say right now is I recently got Molecula 2 in, so I will be making a review of that after I test it. But Molecula 1 is this fragrance that enhances your skin chemistry. In the very beginning, when I talked about L'Homme, and I said if you want to throw ISO E Super on that fragrance to make it last longer, this is an ISO E Super fragrance. So this also enhances other fragrances that you layer it with for them to perform to their best abilities. It really kind of reaches for the fragrance's true potential, and that's why I love Molecula 1 so much. Now, people always ask me, well, how do you layer it? And I've made so many videos on that, but in case you haven't seen any of them, I always apply the initial fragrance first that I want to last longer. Let's take L'Homme, for example, and then I'll spray Molecula 1 over those same exact spots. Now, I have tried to apply Molecula 1 first and then the fragrance, but what I noticed is that it smelled like two different things the whole entire time. Like they didn't kind of join together and make something that really, like, it was just like two fragrances going parallel to each other instead of like one amazing fragrance that is long lasting, you know? So that's what Molecula 1 did. This smells great if you have good hygiene. I have to say that, okay? If you have bad hygiene and you're gonna wear a fragrance that enhances your skin chemistry, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to make you smell even worse, okay? So Cleanliness, hygiene, very important if you're gonna throw on a fragrance like Molecula One. But what I love about this scent is it doesn't smell like you're wearing a fragrance. And I think that this is perfect for those people that don't want it to be obvious that they're wearing a perfume. You know, they kind of want it to be a bit like, you know, a bit slick, right? So when people smell you, they know you smell good, but at the same time, they're thinking to themselves, is that what their skin smells like? Is it maybe like a soap that they're using or a shampoo that they wash their hair in? Why do they smell that good? And the kind of compliments I've received when wearing Molecula One by itself are that people have asked, like, if that's like my like, I keep stuttering, but my laundry. They think that it smells laundry clean. I've also gotten the fresh compliment as well. And this is just a great scent because if you work in an office and you want to wear a fragrance, something that's not going to bother any other people, you can throw this on, right? And the second you leave the office, if you're going to go to a party, if you're going to go to dinner with somebody, if you're going to get active in general, this starts to push. So it's something that is very quiet, very reserved when you're not really moving around. But the second you do start moving around, it does start to project. So I do find this to be a nice, smart fragrance. The third one is my personal favorite. It's my scent of the day. It's from Replica. It's called Lazy Sunday Morning. And if you have been with this channel since the beginning, actually, if you've been here longer and you were on my TikTok, then you know that this was something I truly loved. I remember smelling that whole entire Replica sample set. I think there was about 12 fragrances. And I loved By the Fireplace, right? And I smelled By the Fireplace before I smelled this one. But when I smelled Lazy Sunday Morning, I could not get it off my mind. I quickly ran through that sample. And the reason I love this so much is because this was the first fragrance that evoked emotions from me on like an intimate sort of level. When I smelled this, yes, it smelled like clean linens and fresh white bed sheets, but it also kind of triggered something. Like, you know, if you're in a relationship with your partner and you guys are waking up late, right? But you're having a really good conversation in bed. You're talking about each other's struggles, each other's goals. You're just getting to know each other more and more, having these really deep conversations. That's what Lazy Sunday Morning reminded me of. Okay. It's such a beautiful fragrance, like that made me think of those intimate, vulnerable times, which is why I really do love it. And it is really clean. It's fantastic. Again, another unisex fragrance. If I didn't mention, everything so far has been a unisex scent. This can easily be worn by anybody. And this is the type of scent that I don't wear for anyone. Well, basically, whenever I throw on fragrances, I do wear them for me. But when I am with my girlfriend, if I know that there's a scent that she loves, then I'll throw on Carlisle because she really enjoys that. Or I'll throw on even Salt and Pepper too because she likes that as well. But when I'm running errands and I just want something that's going to stick with me and smell good, that when I catch whiffs of it, I'll be like, yeah, this is amazing. You know, this is the fragrance. Like when I went to the post office a couple days ago, I threw this scent on. It smelled so good when I was running errands. So very nice scent, especially when you hug somebody. This is a very huggable fragrance. It's just something that when people smell it, they just want to hug. They just want to deepen that hug even more because it smells so comforting and cozy. Okay, Lazy Sunday Morning by Replica. Favorite fragrance from this brand. And lastly, we got a feminine fragrance here called Valaya. I always say this thing wrong. It's Valaya. Valaya is the fragrance from Parfums de Marly. This is their recent release. And I have already probably made 3 videos on this fragrance. The first one, I was completely honest. I did not like the way that this was smelling on my skin within those first 5 to 6 hours. It smelled way too white floral for me. If you like white floral, you can go for this scent. But in the very opening of this fragrance, it smelled like aldehydes, which if you don't know what aldehydes are, think of when you pop a bottle of champagne, the fizz that comes out, that sort of smell. Those are aldehydes. It had a little bit of musk. There was some woodiness. There was also some bergamot in there as well. And it was just this fun but luxurious fragrance that I really enjoyed. But then when the white floral set in, it just became something that was so meh to me, you know? But let me tell you, when that 7-hour mark hit, this thing took on a new life and it smelled like the opening that I loved. It's almost as if the fragrance went in reverse, and it's still on my wrist right now. Smells fantastic. fantastic, okay? So if you're somebody that already loves white florals and you love that aldehyde champagne-y sort of vibe, you like a little bit of woodiness, a touch of musk, some of that bergamot, this is going to be a no-brainer for you, especially if you love the house of Parfums de Marly. There's a lot of people that just go nuts about this house, and I think that this is a very interesting sort of offering because it's not their typical oriental scent that smells very sweet or very powdery. Thank God, because sometimes when it's too powdery for me, I just cannot get with it. So I like that this kind of went in a different direction. It's not exactly the same direction as Meliora, but still a bit fresh enough. And by the way, this will perform past 10 hours. So you are getting a freshie that's perfect for the springtime. If you like wearing sundresses, you just like wearing maybe even all white, this is a good fragrance to throw on. It's gonna have you smelling great, you know, and it's going to last, all right? Again, I'll put the discount link for these fragrances in the description box below. I hope everyone has a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.